Today we're going to be talking about this NXP MCU. It's the MCXA153 Eval board, Freedom board. With this Freedom board, what we're going to do is we're going to connect up a clipboard which has got a magnetic switch on it over here, and we're going to run a project that when you put a magnetic field by that sensor, it's going to illuminate this RGB LED to a green color. Let me just see if I can get this up here. Here's a magnet right there, and you can see it's illuminating. So we're gonna program this target here, this 153 part here, and get this demonstration up and running. So the first thing we need to do is we need to have an installation of the MCU Xpresso, and so I've got that done. And then also I installed this FreeMaster from NXP. You can get both of these tools off of their download website. So the FreeMaster will display some graphing information of what the sensor is doing when we get this project running. So coming back to the Xpresso, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the Quick Start panel. Right now I'm in the C coding perspective up in the top right up here. So go to C code, and then over here on the left hand side in the Quick Start panel, we can import from Application Code Hub. So we'll bring up that window, and then what I'm going to do in the search, I'm going to type in NMH1000. Oops. Okay. 1000. And it's going to bring up a number of projects. It's bringing up 3 different projects. What I'm going to do is select this one right here that's got the evaluation GUI. So I'll click on that. Oops. And then it brings up this documentation. So this is all the instructions on what you need to do to run this project. At this point, what I'm going to do is hit visit on GitHub. So over here, this is the title up here off of the NXP Application Code Hub repository. So let me click here, and these are all the files that come along with this project. At this point, up at the top here, let's see, I'm gonna look at what's going on up there, but at this point I'm gonna come back. Yeah, I guess at this point I'm gonna go to the screen code drop down box, and I'm gonna say copy the URL, and then at that point up here, this changes to import projects from Application Code Hub, and then it says cloning project. So up here, I'm going to click up there, and I'm going to hit, or even down here, I can hit the next button. So before, the next button wasn't highlighted until I went over to the visit on the GitHub and copied that URL address. So at this point I can hit next, and then just hit next. At this point I already have this particular project name in my workspace, so I'll put the number 2 there to make a second one. And then let's see here, I guess I can't do that, but in your case, just leave that as is and hit the finish button, or keep on hitting the next button. Eventually it's going to drop the project into the workspace. So I've already done that, so I'm going to cancel out on this. At this point, here is the project that right there that I have imported. And if you look at some of the description over here, it says evaluation GUI firmware main. So I know I've got the right project. So I'm going to highlight that project, and then down here I'm going to come down and say debug. So it should compile the project and then go into the debugging perspective. Okay, so at this point we compiled. Now we're connected to the target. Once again, this is the target with the sensor board plugged into it, and that's the orientation that you need to plug those two boards together. And from here we can come up and click on the green triangle, and now we have this thing running. Just to verify, let's see here, I'm going to get a magnet and bring it close to the sensor, and you can see the green LED is turning on, which is a good sign. At this point, we're going to leave that program running, and then I'm going to jump over to FreeMaster. And at this time, I'm going to go to File and then Open Project. And I pulled this project down off of GitHub as well. So when you're over there copying the URL link, you can bring down the zip folder. And so this is the address of the where my zip folder got placed in that GitHub dirt folder. So now what I'm going to do is, as I go through the directory structure, I can find that this folder system is inside of the GitHub, and eventually you can work your way down into these extended folders, and then you'll see this extension PMPX. And so I'll click on that, and then that's going to open up this window. It's got some information that's popping up here, but I'm just going to hit continue. And so it talks about this magnetic switch demo. Once we get to this point, I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to the Connection Wizard, and I'm going to hit Next on that, and I'm going to use direct connection to the onboard USB port. At this point, I found a virtual COM port that's coming from here. I could also bring up TerraTerm and see the COM3 virtual COM port. So I'll click that. Over here for the baud rate, I'm going to click on None, and then I'm going to scroll down and do 115/200. Click that. So once I have these two clicked, I'm going to hit the next button, and it's going to go and detect that there's a FreeMaster target out there running. Okay, once you get to this point, you'll have some configurations and data streams you can view. So I'm going to just click on the magnetic data stream, and you can see graphically we are running up here. We have the stop sign button if you want to stop communications, or if you hit the start communications, it will start to paint up traffic on the screen. And at this point, if we get that magnet, we can see what's going on with our magnetic field, and you can see that it's getting stronger when we got the magnet closer. And then you can also see in the green that there is a threshold that's being tripped in this program. So that's kind of what's going on with this project. And then over here there is a threshold value here that we could probably change, and change it from a threshold of 50 to some higher number. And then when we see the trigger point on the green down there, it will trip at that new threshold. So let me hit stop over here, and then I'm going to come back to this project, and I'm just going to shut off the debugger and get rid of all that stuff there. And then when we have our project over here, what we do see is we have some folders for the FreeMaster and the FreeMaster driver and FreeMaster platform. So that those projects or C codes are incorporated into the overall project. And here you can see here's some source code with the .h file for the FreeMaster. But here's the main application right here. And in here we have to set up the FreeMaster structures to be able to peek and poke that information over in the GUI that we were showing. So that's what this project is doing. So this is the main that's reading the sensor value, and then over here it eventually goes into the polling right here, forever loop. And so you're getting a FreeMaster polling communication going with the graphical, which is over on this side. So hopefully you find that interesting, and hopefully your projects can be imported and compiled as shown in this recording. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.